morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at Leafeon VMAX. I really thought they were going to go ahead and reveal Leafeon VMAX before they did the full reveal of the set. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I was absolutely wrong. But I don't really care, because we can talk about it now. Translation, obviously, from the lovely Antoine Boulet. Now, we need to remind ourselves about Leafeon V, first of all, and I told you that Leafeon V was great. Now, the stats are nothing special, and to be fair, 200 HP is incredibly low, but it's got an amazing ability that says once during your turn, you may search your deck for a grass energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Now, if you do this, your turn ends, and that's a little bit sad, etc. But for any deck that needs grass energy or even colourless energy, this is genuinely brilliant. And sure, it ends your turn, but we all have those turns where things aren't going our way, and we have to end our turn without attacking. This is a better option. And obviously, on turn 1, if you go first, you're not even allowed to attack. So why not use this? I love Leafeon V's ability. I think it is genuinely awesome, and I do think Leafeon V will see a bunch of play even without this. One of my favourite tricks at the moment, pre-rotation, is playing Tapu Koko with a couple of random lightning energy so that I can accelerate it for Pokemon that use colourless energy. Well, post-rotation, I think I'm going to have to move on to Leafeon, because it is grass energy to any of your Pokemon. That is really good energy acceleration. And sure, there are going to be times you aren't willing to end your turn. Well, in that case, and this might sound obvious, but bear with me, don't. In that case, don't end your turn. But in other situations, this looks really, really good. As for the attack, it's nothing particularly special. Free energy, 90, but it does 150 on a coin flip. I don't think we're going to get excited about that. So moving over into the VMAX, which is freshly revealed today, we go up to 310 HP, which is still low for a VMAX. Although, to be fair, Victini is sitting there at 310, and Victini is proving to be pretty good, so that's a nice handy little bonus. We've got ourselves a retreat cost of 2, which is higher, but it does give us access to Air Balloon, so we're not going to be too sad about that too quickly. We've got a weakness to fire, which is only really relevant for Victini VMAX, because Vs and VMAXs, VMAXs are still counted as Vs, so Victini will still get an easy KO for 2 energy. You have been warned. And you are a grass Pokemon, which really doesn't mean much. It does mean you are hitting weakness on Umbreon, which is cool. Umbreon looks really good. And it means you can search out the VMAX, the evolution, with, for instance, Turffield Stadium. And if you're willing to play a Stage 2, we do have Rillaboom, which will accelerate some energy. So there are reasons to be a grass Pokemon, they're just not the best reasons around. So what do we see? 2 energy. This attack does 60 damage for each energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Oh, it's one of them. Yeah, find a Pokemon with high retreat and start going a little bit nuts. And to be fair, that is high. That is a very high amount of damage. 60 per energy in a retreat cost is awesome. Now remember, we only actually go up to say 4 retreat at the moment. 4 retreat is about the highest you're ever going to see. I mean, look at something like Magikarp and Wailord, which I know is about to rotate, but I like it as an example. Retreat cost of 4 means you're doing 240 damage. Now, as you're hitting it for weakness, you'll get a KO. But against a VMAX, if you're not hitting for weakness, 240 is just not enough, ladies and gentlemen. It just isn't. But of course, what we're really trying to do with a Pokemon like Leafeon is we're trying to manipulate it. We are trying to make sure that we can increase our opponent's retreat cost so that they are hurt. And that's where Galar Mine comes in. And if you're going to be playing Leafeon in any serious capacity, I think you've got to be playing Galar Mine. It increases the retreat cost of both active Pokemon by 2 energy. Kind of annoying for you, but you can play all kinds of switching cards. I'm sure you'll be fine. But now that is an extra 120 damage on all your opponent's Pokemon. That's kind of awesome. One of the issues here, unfortunately, is this is coming out right as the Absol from Team Up rotates. Over here in Japan, they'll still have it for a little while, and that does make a huge difference. Because the Absol from Team Up will increase the retreat cost of your opponent's active basic Pokemon by 1 colorless energy. And that is absolutely brilliant. Like, genuinely brilliant. Because now, against a basic Pokemon between Galamine and Absol, you could just go a little bit nuts. But the problem is, we just don't have much else here. We've got Galamine, and Galamine is awesome. But as soon as we use that, we run out pretty gosh darn quickly. Not to mention, people might be using Air Balloon, which will bring their retreat cost down by 2. And Rapid Strike Pokemon can use Tower of Waters, which doesn't just get rid of your stadium, but it also reduces their retreat cost of 2, meaning that Leafeon will probably end up doing actually no damage. And that is really, really important to point out, because this is literally 60 times. It's not so-and-so plus. It is just 60 times. Which means that if your opponent has free retreat, you deal no damage. Now, it's only a 2 energy attack, and you do have the ability on Leafeon early doors, so I like it, but I only like it as a tech, as a surprise, as a, hey, I can punish you for having a high retreat cost, so I'm going to. As for the second attack, free energy, 170, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. And again, this is fine, and the energy is very payable. Remember that Leafeon V will accelerate in energy. So turn 1, you attach and use the ability. Turn 2, you attach and evolve. And now you've got the free energy. So getting the free energy on this Leafeon is really quite simple. Getting the energy on subsequent Leafeon where you're not willing to end your turn is a bit of a pain, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, it's a payable attack cost. The problem is, what are you actually doing with this? Because you're not KOing Pokemon V. Like, the weakest Pokemon V that you realistically want to be going after are things like Crobat with 180. Well, unless you're hitting for weakness, you're not getting them. Now, if you are hitting for weakness, that is actually kind of nice, because 170 times 2 is 340, which is the most HP we see on any Pokemon. But if you're not hitting for weakness here, you're getting single prize Pokemon. But you're not getting Pokemon Vs. You are 2-hit KOing basically anything, but again, I've got to go back to other Pokemon VMAXs here. Victini for 2 energy will KO basically any Pokemon V. And sure, you're 2-hit KOing VMAXs that aren't weak, but you are 1-hit KOing Pokemon V and you're spending 1 less energy, so I'm not impressed. We can look at something like Eternatus. Eternatus with a full bench will do 270 damage. And okay, fine, you got to have a full bench and all of that, but it's 2 energy and has got a damage cap of an extra 100 damage. I think that is absolutely worth it. As for the healing 30, I don't hate the healing 30, but the fact of the matter is you're starting off as one of the weaker VMAXs, and healing 30 is rarely going to make a dent. Pokemon that are, it puts you at effectively 340, assuming you heal once, so anything that can hit 170 is going to be 2-hit KOing you. Like yourself, and as we've already said, 170 is not really a huge amount of damage. And that's the problem here. Maybe there was a time, a rotation or two ago, where we had Life Forest Prism Star, and we had the Shaman from Lost Thunder, and we could really start healing up. As it is, I don't think this has got enough HP, or does enough healing with the attack, to really warrant making a healing deck. And I don't think it really does enough damage for the free energy you're putting onto it. I do like the first attack, but I like the first attack as a surprise/tech. So actually, I kind of just prefer playing Leafeon V. For me, I'm playing Leafeon V because I love the ability, and maybe I'm playing one of the VMAXs because there will be some Pokemon where you can really punish with this. Any Pokemon V with a retreat cost of 4. If you really want to go for it with Leafeon, play it with Galamine, use the first attack, and just go for it. But do please remember there are going to be a bunch of decks where you don't do enough, where they can lower their retreat cost or have naturally low retreat cost, and even Galamine isn't going to help you. You have been warned. I'm giving a VMAX between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I like the first attack as a tech. I can see some road decks being built around it. I do not think it's the next powerhouse VMAX. I adore the V. VMAX is fine. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.